Hi. Today we're going to discuss about mostly topics that are missing from a Visual Force page. So far, we've seen only the custom controller. Apart from that, we have a standard controller. So we see what is standard controller and terms related to it, and then we'll follow with the all other tags that are available in a Visual Force page. We'll cover one by one what are all missing. That we'll see. Okay, first thing. What is a standard controller? Give me a second.
Controller.
Okay. So, what actually a standard controller was? How it is a different from a custom controller? Let's say if you take any Visual Force page, then what actually we are doing in a Visual Force page, we're having all a HTML or a Visual Force tags, and on that we'll be having some buttons to click on some actions, and then we will be having some data to display, or otherwise we will be having some form to fill and do a submit. So obviously you are dealing with the records, or you are clicking on some clickable things, either button, link, or anything which will navigate to you some other page, or it will call a apex code or retrieve the data from a database or save data to a database. Fine. Now what is a standard controller in a Visual Force page? Standard controller is nothing but a custom object or a standard object. A Salesforce object is nothing but a standard controller. So how it is a standard controller means account VF page example one. So what it means was, if you open an account record, for example, so have an account page. So if you open account any of the record page, then we'll be having some action buttons there. Like if you open the record, or first thing was you will have a new button. So when you click on new button on accounts, basically, you will be having a form open, and you will be having a cancel save button. And once you do a cancel or save, cancel will just go back to the previous screen. Save will take you to the a detail page. And once you open a record, then you will be having a edit button on it, which is specific to this record. Edit button you have, and you have a delete button. So if you click on edit button, so it will take you to the edit of the page. Again, you will be having a save and cancel buttons. And if you click on a delete button, it will delete the record for you. So these are all the these are all the actions that are available on an account page. So when you are using a account object as a standard controller, then you will be having all these features available there. Okay, standard controller. So here I will give a object name. For now I am using a standard object. It's called a account. So when I'm having an account, let's say I'm going to have some form, apex form. I'm having apex form. In apex form I'm going to have a apex page, apex page block, and then inside the page block I'm going to have a apex page block, sorry, apex page block section, page block, page blocks, mm, page block section, and then we're going to have a apex page block section item. Let's say each place I'm going to have a apex output label. So my label is account name. So next one is a apex input uh, apex input field I'm going to have. So here I'm going to have I'm going to have a value or a field name. So I'm going to have a value. Let's say value is account dot name, and then I'm going to have one more section item, and I would be having a industry. So here it has to be a curly braces exclamatory and curly braces exclamatory. Okay, fine. Now I have this one. So if you do a preview, so we'll go back to all action parts later. So I have an account name and a industry because they are input fields. So I see all of them. Fine. I want to give a page block title as a account as a standard controller. And here in the section, I like to give title account basic information I'm having. So I have this two. Now, now, eh, by default, I don't have any data here, right? So it's a blank. When you're using a Visualforce page with a standard controller, then we can pass the record ID from the page. How to pass parameters to the page is called a page parameters. So here, how we pass first, we will give a question mark, and then we will give a attribute name and equal to your value. So I would like to display this account. So I will give this account ID and give enter. So if you observe, you see there is some name is populated over here. And if you see here, the industry field is a blank. You see here, there is no industry field is there. So industry is a blank. So let's see what other we have. We have website and we have phone and we have rating. Okay, let's add those fields as well. So I would like to add phone, and then I would like to add a website, and then I'd like to add a account rating. So rating, website, phone. So I have all the fields there. And again, we lost the ID over here. Just I will try to give a ID. So again, I'll copy from here. I'm going to pass the ID here and click on enter. See, the data was populated directly. So in the standard controller, it will by default take an account, and whatever variable you take, so it will consider it as a standard account. And if you use a Visualforce page in the URL, you can pass the ID of the record so that it will display the record information. And if you don't pass the ID, it will be a blank record. Now, let's add some page block buttons. Apex page block buttons. So here I'm going to have a Apex Apex command button, and then I'm going to have a value. Value is I'm going to add a save, and then action. I'm going to have it as a, so it's having a couple of actions available in a standard object. These are all actions: save, quick save, edit, delete, cancel, and a list. So we'll go one by one. Okay. So I have now a save action, and let's see what will happen if I add a save action to the button. So I have save button added. So I would like to add a ID equal to ID. So I have some record over here. So I'd like to change the name here to something like this. I'm just remove some unnecessary thing, and I'm going to add here as agriculture, and I'm going to save this one. Okay, I say it, the record got saved, and it is navigated to the record detail page. See here, that's what a save action does. It will save the record and navigates to the record detail page. That's what a save action does. Now, quick save. So actually, quick save, what it does was it just save the record and it will just keep you on the same page. It will not navigate back. So let's check that one. The action. Um, quick save. So quick save. What's a quick save? So I have quick save now. So what I will like to do was from agriculture, I will change to a chemicals, and I do a quick save. So nothing happened over here. Just stay on the same page. I'll just refresh this page and see whether it's changed to chemicals or not. The industry was. It's chemicals. Now I'd like to see some messages, whether it's having the messages or not. So what is the tag to see the messages? Apex page messages is the tag which is used to see the page messages. Now let me equal this one. So here I'll change to a education and do a save. It's going back again. From education, I would like to change again none. Do a quick save. So I don't have any messages over there. Okay, fine. It's saving or not? Yes, it is saving. It is blank now. So again, changing back to agriculture and doing a quick save. Okay, so a quick save, what it does is it will save the record. It will save the record and stays on the same VF page in a edit mode. Okay, now in the page block we have something called mode, and if you give it in edit one. So you see some change over there when I gave in the edit mode. So you will be getting this required information tag and some styles got changed a bit. It's in the edit mode. And now, so I have a quick save. So what all the others I'm having edit. So I don't see already we are in edit mode. Let me see what will happen if we give a edit, and I would say this as a edit. So I click on edit. It is taking me to a edit page of the record. On the same record, it is navigating to a standard edit page of the record. It will navigate to the edit edit page of the record. Standard edit page of the record. So delete. So it will delete the record. Anyway, we'll just take a look and make a note. And here, delete I'm having, and what else I'm having over here? I have a cancel. I have a list. Answer. Here's some list. List. So if you do a cancel, it will again take you to the record detail page. Another record detail page and delete. So I click on a delete. Okay, we have some error, so it is showing me the error. Your contacts to some other records. So now I don't have any accounts. Now I'm going to delete. So it will delete the record and take me to the list view of the account, I guess. Yeah, it will take me to the list view of the record. It will delete the record and navigate to the default list view of the Salesforce object. So that's what. So now last thing. So now we have a record is deleted, so I will go to recycle bin and I'll just restore it one. Now we have one more of parallel list. Install also navigate to a default list view. Hmm. So any questions over here? So these are all the standard actions available on top of it. So what are all the advantages of using a standard controller was? First thing was, without writing a Apex controller, you can do some actions like a save, quick save, edit, delete, and list. You can have that view over here in a Visualforce page using a standard controller. So this is how we'll write a comments in a Visualforce page. So below are the actions available in a standard controller. So there are all the actions available. Now, let's say I'd like to override some standard pages. Let's say I'd like to override a standard Salesforce record a detail page, or like I would like to override a edit page, or I would like to override a create page, or if would like to add my Visualforce page into my like we have a fields, right? On top of fields, I would like to add some Visualforce page inside the record detail page. So we have to switch to a classic to see all these options. Why? Because all these overrides that we can do are only possible in a classic view with the Visualforce pages. Now, let's say I have one view over here. So I have some page. In the page, we having let's say that we having some fields over here, and then we have related list and something. If I would like to add some Visualforce page to this page layout, how can I do? If I go to edit layout, and there we have option to include a Visualforce pages. So you see Visualforce pages, and you can drag this Visualforce pages to the detail page sections. So anywhere you can create the sections and you can add the Visualforce pages over here. So let me create a new section here and then try to add a Visualforce page. I'm going to add my Visualforce page. I'm going to add, so I would say a single column, both in edit and single mode. Okay, done. So I have my Visualforce page section, and I'm trying to add my Visualforce page over here. And let's do a save. Once you have the standard controller as a for Visualforce page, you have a standard controller. Then what are the standard controller we're using? The same page we can add it to a standard record page. We can add one thing. So now I'd like to, so I have again like duplicate buttons over here, right? And I have buttons over here, and again I have a here. So instead of that, what I can do, I'll write some more page. File, new Visualforce page. Account VF page example 2. So I would like to add same things, but I'm not going to have any of the actions over here. My Visualforce page and more is edit. So I would like, this is the edit mode. So I would like to see this page only in the edit mode, not in the detail mode. So what I can do, I'll go to the edit layout and I'll go to this page section and I will remove this page. I will add the second page and here. So show label, show calling 100%, not this one. So in the section we have, right? In the section we can control. We want to see this only in the edit page. Okay, and do a save. Now this is the account detail page, right? Not in the edit mode. So now I will not see any section over here. But when I do a edit, now along with the sections, you will be should be having not in the edit page. Maybe if we click on this one. Mm, 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 mm. Description. That's weird. Edit page layout. So I think we can only see in detail page only. Even though we edit the edit page, it's not displaying. Only in the edit page only we can see. So only in the detail page we can see a Visualforce page. In short, I can say. But in edit record page, we cannot see a Visualforce page. What happened? It's not displaying. Okay. Sorry. Okay, okay. I was sorry. I was added in the wrong place. I have to add over here. I was added in the wrong this one. Edit page. Then I don't have this too. And it was saved. So you see, observe like I was added into the wrong section. So it's not displaying. So when I do a edit, what I did here. So it's displaying on only in the edit page, but it was displaying in both edit and detail page also. Having here, if I change here to warm and do I'm not getting a save button over here. And it was save. Okay, I cannot call all these actions, but you can add a page to the section in the detail page only. On the edit page, we cannot see the Visualforce page in short. And now, if you'd like to overwrite any page, how to overwrite? So by using a Visualforce with standard controller only, we can override the pages. Let's say I have an account. Go to account settings, account settings, core pages, account fields. Figures, partners, field sets, compacts, its layouts, button links and actions. So here we have this button set. We have a edit button and we have all of the standard pages. So if you'd like to override any of these pages, let's say I would like to override the new button. Instead of a new button, I would like to display a Visualforce page. I have two options, example 1 or example 2. And lightning, I don't have options to override. So use lightning plus override, skip record tab. Okay, I'm just doing the same. Done. I'll go to account and click on a new and just continue. See what you're getting. You're getting your Visualforce page, not a standard new page. You're not getting that. You're getting your Visualforce page. This is how we can override a standard record page in a Salesforce using a Visualforce page. That's just I'm checking in the Lightning as well. Like to switch to Lightning and create on a account and see a new whether it's overridden or not. It's overridden. Still it is using a Visualforce page only. So we can override the yeah, it's switching Lightning. So now we can override the new button. Similarly, we can override the edit button and we can override whatever else we have. We can override all the buttons on accounts or like any standard object or a custom object. We would like to override any of the standard features of a new edit delete buttons. You can override with any of your Visualforce page. Okay, so you can similarly we can try for a edit and view also. You can write like what is the record detail page also. You can try how it looks. You can try. You can override what are all the options available with the standard pages. Okay, so this only if the Visualforce page is having a standard controller, then only you having this option to overriding the standard actions on a standard object or a custom object. Let's have a quickly have an example with the custom object and we'll close this one. Just I will remove this overriding so we'll not return that much one. Okay, and if I go to account and click on new button, it will be like a normal standard recorded edit page online. It will be coming. Okay. Okay, let me try with a project object and let me try to override a new button over there. So what will be the difference? So only difference is going to be name. Apex, sorry, Visualforce page, project, VF page, example one. Okay, so here I'm going to copy everything to here. Draft account. I'm going to have a project. Nothing will change. So instead of here, I'll use a project. So what else we have? Project and project stage. And what else we having? Project city. And then project state. Revenue or something. What? Hmm. So now here I will explain you some new thing here. That is how to use standard labels in the Visualforce page along with this one. Provide basic information all done. Okay. So here I'm going to use this name dot field names and let's take a preview and see how the page looks like. So this is how the page looks like, and I'd like to pass the ID and see how it will work with the one of the ID. Here, like to pass the ID equal to some ID. Then you will be populating all the values over here. Karnataka, I don't have anything. Tamil Nadu, we have Chennai. We can do a save and it will take you to the detail page. So we have everything ready here. Let's try to override the fields. Sorry, let's try to override the page in a project. So let's go to objects. So go to object. In objects we have a project, and in the project we have buttons and links section. We go to the section. So here I have multiple buttons over here. So previously we override new button, new right? Now I would like to override a edit button. So in edit button, I would like to choose a Visualforce page. And I will take this example to save. And if I go to a project, if I open any of the record, now my Visualforce edit only, right? I override it or not? So edit page with this Visualforce page already done. Okay, fine. So if I go to my project, not override it. Okay, maybe. Mm, 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 mm. Let me again do a check what I did. Setup objects project buttons and links, and I would like to swan this page save. So view page I override it. If I click on this one, okay, this is overridden, which is perfect. And what about the edit? Why edit is not overridden? Yeah, might is overriding. Edit page also I override it, and view page also I override with the same page. So again, let me put back that pages. So any questions over here? How to set the page, Visualforce page to override a edit page, view page, or new button. If you want to override, you have to use a standard controller on that.
Yeah, no worries, Bala. Right.
Okay. Now we'll just put back the default pages only. So create objects, projects, buttons and links. So here, new edit page, edit, use the default pages, save. Okay. And again, buttons and links. View also. Let's use a default one. Okay, so this is how we can advantages, okay, using a standard controller. So we can use the Visualforce page with the standard controller without using Apex class. And second thing was we can use this VF page to override the standard buttons like new, view, edit, delete, and what else we have? Clone. You see buttons by using the standard controllers. So when we're using the Apex class, we have a scenario, right? Like whether it will work on a with sharing or without sharing. So even though with sharing, it will only consider about a record level sharing of the record that you are looking at. But whereas when you're using a standard controller, it will take care of the record level security, field level security, and what are all the possible security that we can check. We can so it will take care of all securities of a logged in user. Let's say you have built a standard controller with some record some fields in the edit mode, and if some logged in user, you don't have a edit permission on the record, so it will not display that UI for the user if the logged in user do not have a edit permission on that record. If even though if you give a delete action shown, but if the logged in user not having a delete access, then it will hide that delete button from the UI. Or even though if you click, it will say that it is not available for you, or like this action is not allowed with your user access. Okay. Now what else we have here? Mm, I will let me add that notes as well. Standard standard controllers will respect the logged in users field level security and object level permissions and record level security. So it will respect all the security features of a logged in user. Whatever the access that logged in user having, only those will be allowed in the Visualforce page that is using a standard controller. Okay, so that is on for a standard controller. If you have any questions, we can ask. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next topic called what are all the other tags that are available. And okay, before closing, I have one more thing to show. Um, so here, um, let's say here the stage. Okay, now I have this as a stage. Maybe sometime in the future, I would like to rename this as a project stage. So in my Visualforce page, I would like to use the whatever the label that I'm using for this field only, I would like to use. Then how can I do that? So instead of hard coding the label here, what we can use here was we can use a dollar as object dot project dot field dot stage dot label. Okay, so if I use something like this, then what will happen? Let's see that. So basically what it does was it will pull the label of this field of this object from a schema, and it will display. Okay, so now, so just I will preview this page. Preview this page. Okay, so I have this page. So I have this page, and if you look, okay, oh my goodness, so it's not showing right. We'll make it as an expression. Mhm. Maybe some syntax I forgot. So the syntax problem was I'm using a subject. No, it has to be a object type, and then here it should be a fields and then stage and label. And if I look at the preview, now you have a stage. It is displaying fine. Now, if in case now I'm not going to change anything in this view of page. If I go here and I would like to change the label here as a instead of stage, I would like to display it as a project stage. The label I'm changing it to a project stage. Now let's see in the PF page whether it's displaying the stage or it's displaying a project stage. Okay, just refresh. Now you see whatever the label I'm using there, that is reflecting over here. So this is how we can use a schema. You can read the schema and use the standard field labels in a Visualforce page. Okay, so any questions you can ask, or we'll jump on to the next topic, or like all different tags that are available out there. We can use the field labels of the. Yeah, Vinay, if you have any question, you can ask.
No queries, Bala. Fine.
Okay, syntax. Okay, we're good. Okay, then let's continue with the next session. Thank you.